Nah, I'm not trying to mess this up. Well, guess I gotta sleep with her then. I said, girl, you're driving. Why are you staring at him? That's supposed to be the resource. I mean, he has been slacking as the resource lately. This girl showed up with a bitten pastry. Boy, bye. I'm not even trying to be another cliche, fighting over some guy. I said she don't watch one too many movies. I think I'm gonna go to the back. I was like, yeah, girl, go to the back, because they gotta talk. If you feel it and you want it, you better take that chance. Told her he loved her. She done told him she loved him. He about to switch for his boo because she not going down like that. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kaya. In today's video, we will be recapping and reviewing All American Season 3, Episode 8, y'all. Canceled. Which, by the way, is our last episode until April 12th. But we can make it. Listen, comment down below what your thoughts were for yesterday's episode and what you predict will happen for the remainder of the season. I also just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has commented and supported my channel. It brings me so much joy, y'all, to chat with y'all in the comments. Y'all don't even understand. But yeah, let's get into today's video. Listen, now they knew they had to show us what happened at the end of that last scene. There's no way they were just gonna sit there looking hurt at each other and just leave it at that. Nope. Homeboy Spence can't even sleep. It's keeping him up at night. So what happens? We see that homegirl Layla's talking to him about the fact that he had just confessed his love to Olivia and then went and hooked up with her out of pity. He sat here and said, Layla, let me explain. She don't want to hear it. He was just like, oh, he did it because he knew what it meant to her. What it meant to me. She was not trying to hear it. She was like, you know what? I never want to see your face again. But you know what the thing is? Spencer's hurt. He's conflicted. He felt loyal to that promise he made to her back at the cotillion. And when she was ready, he wasn't ready to tell her that he was in love with her best friend because this girl is coming back to you because she wants to put y'all's relationship back together. So he said, nah, I'm not trying to mess this up. Well, guess I gotta sleep with her then because I'm not about to tell her that I'm in love with her best friend. And that's what happened. So now look at him in this situation right here where he ain't tell her. Now she's hurt because this has been a secret that's been kept this whole time. And he sat here and hooked up with her anyway, knowing he was in love with Olivia. And she don't want to see you. My girl left bawling her eyes out. But I knew that was going to be the last time she shed some tears to Spencer. She done being hurt. She's all cried out. She's trying to wait it out, y'all. But at the same time, he ain't really know what was going on in his head, that war that was raging between his feelings for Liv and then trying to figure out if he still did have feelings for Layla, which we all know, no, he don't. And now she know he don't. So now everyone's hurt. Now Spence knows he messed up because he tells Dylan in the next scene that he was careless with someone's feelings, which he was. And they decide to go out for a little training session where they get approached by these two dudes who one of them talking mad smack to him, talking about, oh, yeah, because you're supposed to be the resource. I mean, he has been slacking as the resource lately. But are you doing any better? So then they start playing, and sure enough, he was doing better. My boy Spencer was slipping and sliding, and then Dylan, poor Dylan, he was like, come on, you got it. Yeah, you got it, yeah. And then by the end, he was like, you'll get him next time. I said, oh, Lord. Guy comes up with his little sweatshirt. Come to find out, he go to South Crenshaw. Spence ain't recognized him though. Now back at South Crenshaw, we have the nominees for Mr. and Mrs. South Crenshaw. Y'all, it is Kia, Coop, Spence, and Chris. Kia, understandable. Kia, my girl Kia is all over the place. She is doing any and everything all about her community. Coop, this girl, she's barely coming to class. She's missing things. She's only doing her music outside of school. What in the world makes Coop eligible to be Mrs. South Crenshaw? Let me know down below if you know, because honestly, I'm confused. I don't see it at all. And then that look that her and Spencer give each other when they notice each other on the ends of the hall. She notices him first though, and he over here still cheesing about his little nomination, and then he spots her. And his smile just drops. He looks more hurt though. She looks fed up, like, you still talking about I'm the reason you got shot? That's what she looking like. And he's looking like, I can't believe my homie had me get shot. two completely different looks that they're giving each other right now. She don't seem like she's in any mood or any rush to put this relationship back together, and he just seems hurt by the situation. He seems more open though. The look he's giving her, like if she wanted to approach him and try to talk, he would allow that. She looks like she's in a place right now where just one look in her direction and she about to be out. That's why she gonna sit here and turn away and just walk off. I said, she's still tight. So now Billy's going over the roster for the football team, and they need more players, y'all. So Spence, you know, he can't deny what happened up on that field today. So he tells Billy, we find out his name is Jabari, y'all, the one that had Spencer slipping and sliding. Jabari. And Spence he's open to the possibility of bringing him onto the team because he knows it's not about you. It's about the team and who's going to help get you to the playoffs. And that's Jabari, and he knows it. But when Billy looks up Jabari, homeboy's GPA is incomplete. Time for plan B. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. Patience Girl is up on tour with Jules, living her best life, singing her song too. And Coop actually seemed like she's happy for her. That's her girl, I tell you. So Layla and Coop are back at the chill spot, and Coop's cranky. Because Layla canceled her interview so that way she could take her test, which Coop was like, why would you do that? Apparently she will end up taking the test had she known about the interview. And Layla, just like she was checking for Spencer up in Vegas because she wanted to be with him, now she's checking because she is not trying to see him. So Coop is up telling her that Spencer's still at his practice. Kia shows up with her little pamphlets. Y'all, this line from freaking Coop, and I tell you, I laughed out loud. She was like, damn, that was quick. What you do? Print these out during 6th period? I died. Kia comes around and Kia ends up making a comment about Spence and Coop, you know, being homecoming king and queen together as best friends, to which her and Layla are making eyes to each other because you know what the deal is. So Kia is like, what did I miss something? So Layla gets up so she can leave Coop to fill Kia in on everything that she's missed. And we know she's missed a lot. Time to play catch up. Shady Carter is back, y'all. Cranky as ever. This guy, when I tell you, he is so annoying. And the simple fact that how old are you? And you're still holding a grudge over what? When y'all find out later what he's holding a grudge over? Well, y'all already know, but we're gonna go over it. It's been how many years? And like Billy said, you're interim principal. So your title is temporary. You need to relax. Like, come on. These kids are how old? Trying to play football and you're trying to hold them back? Hold back their potential for what? Because Billy hurt your feelings in high school? Boy, bye. So Mama Grace is playing the jams at dinner because she got her little garden project at SC. Spencer's down because his team's not doing too well, and it's because of the whole GPA requirement that they can't have more players added to the team to help out. But the highlight of this dinner for me, y'all, was Lil Dylan with his shots that he was firing at Spencer. I said, he got jokes. So back at the Baker household, Mama Laura and Jordan are talking, and he has matching shirts for him and Liv for Twin Day, but he's also talking to Mama Laura about the issues that poor Liv has been going through. You know, her breakup, Layla, different things. And Mama Laura suggests, why don't she take a mental health day? Listen, Jordan is all for it. If he could take one too, it takes a little push, but she gives it to him. Let Liv have this day. And I'm also really happy that Jordan is trying to be there for his sister, you know, during her little hard time. But if you think about it, she definitely is not trying to be at school. You have Asher there, who she recently broke up with, annoying Vanessa, I never want to see you, and Layla, who they're still on the outs right now, and they haven't spoken about what happened between the three of them, her, Spencer, and Layla. And then Spencer's on her mind heavy. So this girl, she got a lot of things going on up in there. So if she could take a mental health day and try to work through some of this stuff just a little bit, girl, take that day. Annoying Nessa. This girl showed up with a bitten pastry. And Asher, who by the looks he's given during this conversation, seems like he's having a little bit of feelings. And she is over here inviting him to a movie, which he shut her down, y'all. I said, what's with these girls recently getting shut down? But Layla's situation, he didn't want her. Asher's situation, it's a little too soon, you know? Him and Liv just broke up like 2 weeks ago. Girl, give it some time. So he doesn't really want to start feeling these feelings for her that I know are coming up. And it's better to just be like, oh no, I can't. And she look hurt too. her this though, that eyeshadow. That was some well blended eyeshadow. It looked nice. So Spencer shoots Liv a text and just checking in. And we see that she begins to text back. And that's it. She starts, but she never actually sends anything. And Kia shows up and lets him know that later that night they're actually going to film their speeches, her, Coop, and Spencer now. And also just touch a little bit on him and Coop's relationship. But then we see Jabari, who is being checked out by the cops because he was in juvie before, and they make this a regular thing of coming to check his locker just because he got in trouble once, man. Can't the boy live? So Spencer goes over to talk to him, and they're talking about what happened earlier on the field. They're talking and laughing it out. He also let him know that he can talk to Coach Baker if he'd like to, but Jabari's like, nah, I ain't got nothing to hide, you know? But when Spencer sits here and tries to play Superman and tell him that he can help him with tutoring and everything, Jabari ain't like that. He was like, stay out of my business, basically. I can handle my own. My grades are not messed up. Guess what? Shady Carter is the one that's keeping his grades from being transferred over from when he was in juvie. His grades are perfectly fine. So Shady Carter gets tag teamed by Mama Grace and Spencer. Mama Grace is up first, and he's telling her Spencer's GPA is in good standing. He's good. She's like, no, because you're sitting here setting a GPA requirement where other students are not meeting that, which isn't allowing them to be on the team. So that's affecting my son. So then Spencer shows up, and now he's all for Jabari. He's like, listen, why aren't you letting his transcripts transfer over? He took all the classes he needed to take, basically so he can be on the team. And he's like, I don't discuss other students with you. Spencer was getting tight. He was rather because, you know, he's going through so much right now. So there's a lot of anger and hurt built up inside of him. And who can you take it out on? Shady Carter. He had to apologize to his mama because he was getting reckless a little bit right there. But Mama Grace looks at him and she knows Spencer was right. She was like, no, that right there, that is hurting the team. You're not showing that you actually care about these students. Get it right. And fix it. Still see Mama Grace and Shady Carter getting together though. He just gotta do better. Listen, Jordan earlier in this season, he was getting me so upset. But him now, being there for Liv, y'all, I said, that's what you're supposed to do. That's your sister. And him over here singing his little work in progress vocals, but he over here singing his heart out to Aaliyah because that's Liv's song. I said, my guy. And then he's also telling her what she should be hearing right now. And it's good advice. He's also telling her to go out and get her man. But she doesn't really know right now if she should go and do that. He's also feeling out how everything went with her and Asher, how she feels about the breakup, which she knows it was inevitable. That thing was never going to work because she's not in it. And then also telling her she needs to speak to Layla because that's your best friend. And with everything that has happened between, I would say the two of you, but the three of you, that talk needs to happen. He's over here still living it up too, following his little wedding. So right now he's happy until Mama Laura and Papa Billy find out. But hey, we're gonna rock with it. So Preach has been out investigating Mo, and according to him, she checks out. Then again, I don't know, because him and Mo used to have something in the past, so he might be lying just because that's his old boo thing. Nah, I think he's telling the truth. And Coop, he can see, the jabs that they put into this episode, him with his comments to Coop, even with her little pamphlet that he had when he slammed it down, and he was like, big ass Michelle Obama. I lost it. I could not. But yeah, he sees that Coop is looking a little down. She tells him that her and Spencer are on the outs. And he's just telling her, you do you. Don't worry about it. Focus on your music right now. If anybody's gonna have you, it's you. I don't think they should get back together right now either. They need to learn who they are apart. However long that takes. Now when Layla walks up and she does that eye roll, y'all, because she done spotted Spencer. And y'all know she said, I never want to see your face again. And he looks and he was like, oh, I wasn't expecting you to be here. She didn't want to see you either. And she said, for a split second, y'all, she had to think about it if she really wanted to do this. But she went back and she said, you know what, no. It's a simple fact that you was taking pity on me. And you treated me as if I was this fragile thing. But I'm not. I went to rehab. I've learned. People grow and they evolve. And that's exactly what she did. Honestly, did not think that homeboy Spencer could look any more hurt than how he has previously looked in everything else that has transpired before this. From Papa Corey dying, to Liv walking away from him, to even the conversation that he recently had with Layla, where he finally confessed the truth. But him in this moment right now, where she's letting him have it, he is hurt, y'all. And he doesn't want her, but he knows he hurt her. And I don't think he ever imagined her being this upset at him. I mean, dang, I didn't imagine it, but here it is, and I'm here for it. So Coop comes to Mama Grace's house to drop off her breakup box to Spencer, which basically every memory she's ever had of Spencer, she don't want it anymore. She's ready to give it back. It's in this box. But Mama Grace and Dylan are like, what we look like? We're not your middleman. If you want to end this friendship completely, you give it to him yourself. So she dip out the door with her box. And Asher is back at the gym, and Coach Montez is switching him up during practice. He lets it slip. He thinks it's because of him and Vanessa. She's like, you and Vanessa? But it turns out she just needs his help with another player because he possesses these coach-like qualities that she really likes in him. But then she also lets him know she want to know what's up with him and Vanessa. I don't even think he knows what's up with him and Vanessa. He's still confused too. Papa Billy comes to see Spencer for a heart-to-heart, and he's telling him, you can be Superman, but also know when to ask for help because not everyone has it put together. You know, Spencer, this is all new to him in a sense that he's coming back to Crenshaw after being away for so long, playing with a whole new team, building these new relationships, this previous romantic relationship that he was in, and he at the time thought that this was what he wanted. So now he's back home, his roots, and trying to figure everything out. And it's difficult because he's back with a team who did not want him when he first came back because he kind of abandoned them in the beginning, they felt like. And he's trying to make it work with them. He came back as their resource, and for a while there, his shoulder was giving him those problems, especially with his mental block, which we found out was Coop. And on top of that, denying the feelings that he has had for Olivia for a very long time, and then trying to make it work with Layla, which also, you know what I thought about? Has my girl Layla been paying for these therapy lessons? It's time to cut him off now. He gone. Also trying to make it work in this rebooted relationship with Layla after just confessing his love to Olivia, who turned him down after he had just finished pouring his heart out basically to her. So all of that combined has been weighing heavy on not only his heart but his mind, and he's stressed. Now Liv, homegirl had to take a little sippy sip before she went in for that conversation. She knew it was going to be intense, and I knew Layla was not about to play nice. And poor Liv, she was trying to be so nice about it. She went in just trying to feel her out and everything, but Layla saw her one look and she was over it. She was packing it up. And Liv tells her, you know, Spencer cares about you, and I didn't tell him to tell me that he was in love with me. But Layla's thing is, you sat here for months and watched her be in this relationship with him and didn't say anything, which that is my thing too, because listen, I'm all for you and Spencer being together because he truly loves you, girl, but you could have gave the girl a heads up if that's supposed to be your best friend, knowing everything that she's previously experienced, you know, not really having anyone there for her. You and Spencer were like the closest people to her, so she's hurt, as she should be. And she said, you know what, I'm not even trying to be another cliche fighting over some guy. I said she don't watch one too many movies. Now Liv's confused because Layla and Spencer weren't even together this whole time that this was going on between them. But Layla's upset because it's loyalty and you're supposed to be my best friend. To which Liv is like, loyalty? You wouldn't know loyalty if it had a price tag. Everyone who sat here and tried to get Spencer drunk, which nearly ended his football career, and then tried to get us to hook up, only to realize that you actually wanted him for yourself. My feelings didn't even matter in that moment. And all the while, I was there for you while you were battling your depression. Your lowest point, basically. And this whole time, y'all, the whole restaurant is just staring at them. I said, they getting a whole show. And I had my popcorn during this moment too. Unlike you, who told me that you didn't even realize that my addiction had gotten that bad when I got back from rehab last year. I mean, what kind of friend is that? And Layla, I said, when Layla followed up with the kind that knows when to pull a dagger out of her back and walk away, I said, no, she didn't. Unfazed. She was done. She's done. This girl cut them off. That's it. You don't get no more of me, either one of you. I said, y'all really hurt her. Who knows what's gonna happen after this point? And then she was like, and you know what? You can have Spencer. I'm done with him. And you. And this is where I'm conflicted, y'all, because I can see it from both points. Daddy's not really here. He hasn't been here for a while. I mean, he's here now, but before, he hasn't really been here. Mom's is no longer with us. So she's been on her own for a very long time. She was with Asher, but we all know that relationship, Asher and Layla, no, that relationship was never gonna work. So I don't even know how they were making it work before. She was just going through the paces. And at the time, her and Liv weren't as close as they used to be because Liv had gone to rehab and everything, you know, they were still filling out their friendship. So when she meets Spencer, she feels something for him, drawn to him in a way. And Liv, she knows, is feeling something for him as well, but Liv's not pursuing it. Liv is still on the mend, basically, following her rehab stint. And Layla tried resisting it for just a little bit, you know, she was over there flirting. I don't know how hard she was resisting it, but she wasn't really pushing it because she was still in a relationship with Asher, yada yada. She was over there playing games. That whole thing with Spencer at the party where she was trying to get him drunk, acting like she didn't even know. I would never do something like that. Y'all remember that? I would never do something like that, lying through her teeth. With her trying to push Liv to hook up with Spencer, and then also trying to push her to, oh, go talk to him. Oh, he'll be at this party. Come on, you know, Spencer's gonna be there. You should be there, yada yada. All the while knowing that she's into him as well at this point. So she at the time didn't know how to go about handling these feelings that she felt for Spencer. Her and Asher weren't really going anywhere because the more she was around Spencer, the more she felt for him. She took the leap. She went and she got him because it's what she wanted at the time. Whereas Liv, I see how she is hurt by this whole situation because off the bat, you knew what my feelings were for this guy and that I was interested in him first while you were in a relationship with someone else completely. So this could have been my guy. So the simple fact that you're saying it's loyalty, yada yada, had I would have had the courage to make my move up front, he wouldn't have ever been your guy first. He would have been mine most likely. I don't know, but Spencer at the same time, he was giving Layla those looks up front. He wasn't really seeing Liv as more than just a friend. And that's because she came in, you know, kind of friendly. Hey, you know, you can share my computer with me. Oh, I'll show you around. Whereas Layla, she come strutting in and she's like, well, do me then. I mean, read me. She was coming off more flirtatious to him. So that's why he felt the initial attraction to Layla. And it took him so long to realize it with Liv. It's a messy situation, y'all. So Spencer's back at the chill spot with Billy, Kia, and Coop, and he gives his motivational speech, you know, I'm not just a resource. We're all the resource. And then we find out that Jabari's credits have gotten transferred over, but it wasn't Billy or Spence who got Shady Carter to do it. So that's up in the air. And back at the restaurant, we have Jordan, JJ, and Asher playing pool. Vanessa shows up and has the nerve to be upset because Asher spoke to her mom and let it slip that there's something between them, when in reality, no, there's not, according to her. But I'm like, the way you've been acting, always trying to bring up what you know about Asher, feeding him, of course he's gonna think something. So apparently she just wants to be there for him and be a friend for now. We'll see where that goes because she's talking about she's going to see this movie with JJ. I give that all of one date. That's it. Although who knows, honestly. JJ and Vanessa, maybe. There may be something there until she realizes that she wants Asher. Now Coop is giving her speech. And what's with these people thinking they're like Superman or something? So she says it's time for her to take her superpowers elsewhere. Basically, her whole speech is like a goodbye speech, and she gotta go. And honestly, I feel like it was that conversation with Preach where he's telling her, you do you. And, you know, it was hard for her, she says, to see Spence every day. And with everything that's going on, it's just too much. So she's not trying to deal with all that. So when she gets down, Kia is taken aback. She says, wait, Coop, did you just quit school? Coop's like, yes, I'm quitting everything that's holding me back. And then has the nerve to look at Spencer, and he don't know what to do either. He's just looking shocked because did that really just happen? Do you hate me that much? And she just goes strolling out too. Kia was like, you just gonna let her go? Spencer with that dumb look. He was just looking like he didn't really want to look at the door because if he looked, he know Coop done went out that door, she gone. But no, he was not trying to run after her. He's giving her space. And they're not to a point where they're ready to work this out with each other yet. And Kia, you just found out. Girl, you should understand. There's too much right now between them. She could go, I'm giving Jordan the MVP award for this episode. Y'all see how he was there for Layla? Listen, Liv is his sister. Layla's his friend. But he's not taking sides because he's going to be there for both of them. He can see both sides of it. People think she's not mentally capable of handling what's going on. But Jordan, he tells her, you're one of the strongest people I know. And I said that's exactly what she needed to hear because my girl, she can handle almost anything at this point. My girl has had her rough patches in the past, but everything that she's been through has built her up to who she is today. And she's going to need some friends right now because she doesn't have very many. So it was Mama Grace and Spencer who persuaded Shady Carter to help out Jabari. But did y'all see Billy's face in this next scene as this dude is telling his story? That's how my face looked. I said, where is this coming from? Y'all, this dude is delusional. He was like, you punched me so hard that I ended up in the ER with 7 stitches. And Billy's just like, I'm just looking like, does Billy have a twin we don't know about? Because Billy is thoroughly confused. He's like, that never happened. This guy, he is convinced with his story. He's telling him, you're the reason my parents had to put me in boarding school, why they feared for my life. And still, Billy is just, look, I'm sorry that happened to you, but you're remembering it wrong. And he don't like that. So he got to walk away because Kia wasn't worried about 10 p.m. when Liv walked through that door for Spencer. She was like, I think I'm going to go to the back. I was like, yeah, girl, go to the back because they got to talk. There is nothing holding homegirl Liv back. Jordan then told her, go get your man. Her and Layla, they've already talked. It didn't go well, but they talked about it. They got what they wanted to say off their chest. And she realized during that conversation too, you don't really care about how I feel or how I felt before. And it's always about you. So, you know what? Why do I care how you feel? I'm going after what I want. So she left homeboy on red earlier. So now she texts him back and she offers him a ride home. And I had a feeling, I said, this is not going to end well. I said, oh Lord, you know, it's too good to be true. So they leave so she could take him home, which I hope they actually stayed and helped Kia finish up before they dipped out of there. But they go and they get in the car and they're riding. So they're riding in silence for a while, which is kind of awkward. But finally, she talks to him and tells him, you know how we're always denying how we feel about each other to other people? Well, what if we stop doing that? And he's telling her, you know, Liv, I done poured my heart out to you in Vegas and you ran away from me. So he's trying to fill it out. He doesn't know if it was because she didn't feel the same way or she was afraid. She's beating around the bush and he's just like, come out and tell me, you know, let me hear it. It's time for some truth. And finally, she pours her heart out. And I'm like, girl, it's about time because so many times you've been denied and you wanted this and it hasn't happened. And it was so close to happening in Vegas. And then look what happened. You ran away from him, so he ended up with someone else for a little while there. But now, look at us. So she's telling him she was afraid because honestly, of everything that has been the aftermath of everyone finding out about what happened in Vegas, it's happened already at this point. So there's nothing else to fear. Asher knows, Layla knows. You've had those difficult conversations with those people. So There's nothing holding you back at this point except each other. And she lets him know that she loves him too. And just the smile on her face to be able to finally let it out, because she has felt this way about him since he came to Beverly. I said, this is your reward for being such a good friend this whole time. A good sister. You stood by your brother when he was over there forging your mama's signature and getting married up in Vegas, even though you didn't want to at the time, but you did it anyway. You were there for Layla when she was over here dating the love of your life, but you did it anyway. You were there for her, even when she went through her depression, like you said. You were there for her so many times. Asher, after everything, when everyone cut him off following homecoming because they found out about you and Asher, you sat here and you took care of him. You helped him get back into football, found him a place to live with Layla, but you found that for him. This girl has been there for everyone. Everyone. And finally, she gets something of her own that she wants and that she has well earned. Or so I thought. It may not be the most popular choice, but I mean, we can't worry about all that. That's right, girl. Listen, don't wait for no one. I mean, until you and Spencer were ready, you should have waited for that, which you're ready right now. But everyone else outside of this relationship that's about to happen, no, because they're not waiting for you. They're over here living their lives. It's never going to be the right time. So if you feel it and you want it, you better take that chance, because who knows? And you're going to find out too, soon enough. That's why you have to take it right now while you have the chance to take it, because in like 1 minute, you're about to find out why you should have took it now. I knew. Listen, when she first started glancing over at him, and then they started getting longer, her little stares, I said, oh Lord, this girl, she is staring for way too long. She needs to quit it, because she be doing these sippy sips, and they're building this up. You know, you can feel it coming. They're building this up. She's professing her love back to him. I said, girl, you're driving. Why are you staring at him that long? I know this is something that you've wanted for so long, and I don't know why she didn't pull over when he told her to. She was still over here cheesing, driving away, staring in his face. And then when they come to look back at the road, well, Spencer, because she is mesmerized by his face now, because she done told him she loved him. Spencer looks back at the road and see the car there. This girl done crashed. This girl was terrified. She was like, Spencer, you gotta switch with me. You gotta switch with me. I'm not gonna pass the sobriety test. I said, in his face, because he was not expecting that. Man, I knew he was gonna be the first one to find out. I mean, Mama Laura was close, but she didn't do it right. Girl, you test for everything. She done told her he loved her. She done told him she loved him. He about to switch for his boo, because she not going down like that. When we come back, you're like, Papa Billy done found out, y'all. And Spencer, like, he's just trying to be there for his girl. So, but I feel like now that their feelings are clear between the two of them, they're going to try to work through this, and he's going to try to help her get back on track, because, you know, Superman, Spencer, it's what he loves to do. So, Coop is going to be working on pushing her music all the way now, because she now has all this free time with the help of Layla. And listen, Layla has a lot more free time too, because they have both X'd people out of their lives. So it's the two of them, which I can't wait to see how that relationship progresses between the two of them. I feel like the manager-artist dynamic of their relationship, along with their friendship, is going to be something that's great to see grow over time. And, you know, Patience isn't here right now, so they'll have a lot more time now that they can spend together, because Layla doesn't have anything else going on outside of school. There's no relationship for her, not very many friends. And Coop doesn't have school, barely any friends. So they're gonna have a lot more time for each other. Yeah, so that was this week's episode. Feel free to comment down below any shows or movies that you would like to suggest. I'm always down to watch something new. And if you do happen to watch The Flash or would like to watch it, it airs on Tuesdays on the CW. I am currently recapping and reviewing the series. They are currently in season 7 right now, and I post those videos on Wednesdays. But guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace!